Hey movers, what's going on? Coach Hal with you here today to go over another rocker variation with you. This is going to be rocker with kickouts. So if you have been doing rockers and have mastered pressurizing the backside and are looking for a little bit more of a difficult movement and looking to elevate your movement game, then we are ready to get into rocker kickouts. Rocker kickouts are going to start in the same fashion that we start with our regular rockers. So if you need a moment to prepare to put on your knee pads or give yourself some assistance with a band, which I highly recommend, then go ahead and set yourself up and get yourself ready to move. Additionally, if you need an elevated surface, let's go ahead and utilize that as well. If you need a moment to pause, do so. If not, let's get right into it. So with these rocker kickouts, once again, we need to set ourselves up just as we would with our rockers and find our pressure in the backside. If you need to take a moment to find your backside before you get into these kickouts, take a moment to go back and forth, find that pressure, and once you have found that pressure, we can begin kicking out. If you want to start with 30 seconds of rockers and then get into your kickouts, let's go ahead and do that. But getting into the kick-out portion, it's truly as simple as taking your regular rocker, and yet instead of coming forward and just pressurizing, keeping the pressure and coming forward, we now want to keep the pressure coming forward with some internal rotation of that thigh bone and or femur. And the biggest, most crucial aspect of this movement is making sure that we are staying in our backside and not allowing ourselves to hip thrust forward. I'm going to raise my shirt here so you can see the curvature in my low back. What we want in this rocker kick out is something that looks like this, keeping the curvature in the low back as I come forward, and recognize that if I were to not keep that curvature and I were to hip extend or hip thrust coming through this movement with my kick out, it may look something like this, where I push back and come forward. We want to mitigate that as much as possible. We want to keep curvature in the low back, and in fact, as we kick out, you may even find the curvature in the low back lighting up even a bit more. So once again, seeing this from the backside view, we are pressurizing, finding our backside, igniting and lighting up, coming back, sitting into the hips, and as we come out, we are standing taller, driving the hips out wide, allowing the feet to come wide. So everything is coming through the movement of the hip, and there shouldn't be an exaggerated draw out of the heels to the point where we are feeling stickiness or irritation in the front side hip flexor TFL area. We really want to make sure that the pressure is staying towards the back and outside glute area of the hips. You can maybe go a little bit wider if this is easier for you. You can keep your feet narrow. You can tuck your toes. You can lay your feet flat, or you can even bring your feet off the ground as we kick out coming forward. Remembering the most crucial aspect of our movements and of our rockers with rocker kick out is always keeping the pressure in the backside. This doesn't have to be a large, exaggerated rock back, and it certainly does not have to be a large, exaggerated kick out. When we first start this, we are more than likely going to have a lot of resistance in that internal rotation. So doing the smallest, I'm going to go hands wide so you can see my feet, the smallest amount of internal rotation can still be very powerful. So if you only have very small movement, let's stay within our range of motion, feeling that pressure in the backside and working these kickouts to serve us instead of serving the exercise. There is no point in us drawing our legs out as far and wide as we can, getting our legs out as far as we can, letting the hips thrust forward and feeling lots of knottiness, tightness pressure in the front. that is not going to leave you feeling good when you finish this exercise. So let's remember to pressurize the backside, use the range of motion that we have, and once again, one of the biggest things to cue and think of moving forward with this kick out is that as we extend our legs out and come forward, we are almost accentuating this lower back arch, making sure our glutes and low back are staying engaged, making sure we're staying in the backside and not hip thrusting as we come forward. Once again, just like our rockers and any other movement we do want to keep our chest tall. We want to keep our eyes looking forward. And we can go ahead and spend as much time with this as we need. If you're doing this correctly, you may find that after 2 minutes, there is a large burning sensation and maybe a moment needed for a break or getting into a new movement. Thank you for working with me today. I wish you the best. Stay blessed.